Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 most affordable places to live near Austin. So near Austin is very key here because if you're looking for affordable places to live within Austin, so within the city limits, that's going to be a different video that I'll link in the description. Now, when it comes to these emerging markets around, or I should say near Austin, these are emerging. So these are brand new master plan communities. So you're not going to have all the major conveniences like having a Walmart or a Costco nearby because they're still building out all these residential homes. So that is, I guess, a possible con if you're looking at it through that lens. But a big pro, which is the whole point of this video, is to find affordable housing and to find it kind of like in an emerging market. So you're kind of getting in at the ground floor. So maybe 10 years from now, when you're ready to sell and probably move up, now you bought something in the price range of $350,000. That's the neighborhoods we're going to be looking at, $350,000 and less. So without further ado, let me show you the 5 most affordable places to live near Austin. Ba-da-bum. Okay, so we have the city of Kyle, Texas. That's in the south. Then we have Taylor, Texas, in the north, more like northeast, I would say. San Marcos is in the south. Elgin, Texas is in the east. Jarrell is definitely in the north. So I really want to kind of encompass areas all throughout the city of Austin. So we have like a nice little flavor, nice little mix of things. Now, for my visual folks, let me go to my maps here. For my visual folks, here is what that's going to look like on the map, right? So here is downtown Austin. This is the city center. And everything that we see kind of like highlighted in purple are these emerging markets. I know there's a long laundry list here, but we're going to be focusing on just 5 for this video. Now, we're going to start here in the north in Jarrell, right? You can kind of see how far it is from Austin, right? Again, if you're coming to move in Jarrell, it's not because you want to be super close to downtown. It's because you really want to find a home that's at a first-time home buyer price point, and then sit on it and have that appreciation built so you can move to the next home, which you can get a little bit closer to Austin, right? So that's kind of like the strategy here. That's the game plan. That's the kind of mindset you should be thinking of as we're going through this list here. And then we're going to go work our way down south to Taylor, Texas, right? Hutto and Taylor, they both have great price points for first-time home buyers, but I'm going to focus on Taylor, Texas for this video. And then we're going to keep going south to Elgin, Texas. And now see here that now we're kind of more on the east side of Austin, Texas, right? And then we're going to go all the way south here to Kyle and San Marcos, right? And San Marcos is kind of considered like the halfway point between Austin and San Antonio. So again, I really wanted to give you guys a nice little wide range of neighborhoods to look at. So let's look a little bit closer at each one, right? So let's look at Jarrell. In Jarrell, Texas, they have communities. These are brand new communities called Centera. Then we have Centera Eastwood. And then we have Seasons at Calumet. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Builder-wise, we're looking at Century Communities, Centex Homes, Pacesetter Homes, Richmond American Homes. And they have homes starting in the mid-200s. So I have here a nice Excel spreadsheet. So let's take a look at let's take a look at Jarrell and what that inventory looks like with these price points. Oop, I don't want Elgin and Jarrell. I just want Jarrell. Okay. So now this sheet that we're looking at, I didn't do this myself, right? So I'm not going to give myself credit. So Builder Boost is this organization here in the Austin area. They are fantastic. They help us real estate agents. They're kind of like the intermediary between us and the builder, right? So they have a lot of points of contact, and they're the ones that compile this list. And I'm the one that just kind of deciphers it and manipulates it so I can, get the information I need so I can give you guys some really good, valuable content, right? So I've narrowed this down to the city of Jarrell, and we're looking at homes in the price range of, I put 400,000 or less. That way we can kind of see this a little bit more inventory. I know I said 350,000, but I know for a fact that with these buyer incentives, sometimes we can increase your purchasing power with what the builder is offering as far as these incentives, right? So it'll make a more fun video if we have a little bit more to look at. Okay, so now we're looking at the city of Jarrell, right? So check out this. Let's take the time to appreciate this spreadsheet in the sense of like, look at all these columns and how much information we have just in front of us, right? Where we don't have to go back and forth so much. I know with the builder websites, you have to go back and forth a lot just to see prices and floor plans. But with the spreadsheet, everything is here. Okay, so here we have the community, right? Then we have the price point. This is the square footage. Then we're looking at the builder. These are like the floor plan, right? What the layout looks like. And then we have the address along with the city of that we're trying to check out, right? And then look they even have some of the schooling systems here. So it's just so much. They pack so much information here. I love it. I refer to this so much. And this is a list that they update weekly. So every week I'm downloading it, I'm looking at it, and I'm checking to see how much we have available in the inventory. So right now for the city of Jarrell, we're looking at the count is 39. We have 39 homes that are on this list at least. And I want to make it a point to say, like, here, I'm looking at this column right here, column I, and I'm seeing that there's some available now, and it looks like the remainder of this list is going to be available in come summertime, right? And there are a few blanks, right? So again, they do their best to keep up with the completion date, but they're not going to get it every time. But still, no ill will to Builder Boost. Shout out to Builder Boost, as a matter of fact, because you guys help us out so much, and in turn we help you, the viewer, out by relaying this information to you guys. So, okay, we could see right here where price range wise, we're looking at $269,000 all the way up to almost $400,000, right? And these are floor plans that are your standard 3-2s, right? 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And then I'm seeing, let's see, do I see more? Yeah, I even see a 4-bedroom, 3-bath right here at $364, right? So they have your standard bed and baths that most people want. And as far as square footage, we're looking at anywhere between 1,500. I'm seeing 1,200 here, all the way up, I'm sure, to 2,000. Yeah, 2,600 square feet, right? So very good range of square footage, right? So in Jarrell, Texas, there's so much new construction happening. So there's a lot. You're going to have your choices, right? So we could pick a weekend. We can probably visit a few different builders and see how all the different floor plans look like, right? I know that's a fun weekend when we go check out different builders. We look at all the floor plans. I mean, new construction is just fun to visit, right? And then we can see what incentives we can capture, right? I know the last time I was in Jarrell, they were offering incentives to help buy down an interest rate, help closing costs, and they were even throwing in some of the home appliances if you closed by a certain date. So that's how awesome these incentives can get, especially right now, because we are in a buyer's market. And we're probably going to remain in a buyer's market for the rest of this year. So those of you that were stuck on the sidelines during COVID, this is your year. 2024 is your year. Okay, let's go south to Taylor, Texas. And in Taylor, Texas, we have a community, just one community called Castlewood 50s, right? There's only one builder called Dream Finder Homes. And they have homes starting in the mid 300s. So let's take a closer look at what that looks like in the inventory sheet. So we got Taylor pulling up. Okay, so again, we just see Dream Finder. We have homes starting in the low 300s all the way up to rounding up to the 400s. And again, 3-2s, 3 and 2.5s. So completion date, we have some available now, and looks like the rest of them more than likely are going to be ready for the summertime. Now, if you're a buyer and you're looking to buy this year, do not wait for the summertime. Do not wait for the and be like part of the masses, because come summertime, when everyone's coming out to go house hunting, that's when a lot of these incentives either go away or there's just less money to be had, because these incentives are directly tied in with buyer demand. And right now, as I'm recording this in the month of March of 2024, buyer demand is kind of stagnant. It's creeping up a little bit because we're getting into springtime, but as soon as we get to the peak summer, that's peak season for home buyers in general, and a lot of these incentives are going to go away, right? So what's the best thing to do is to contact me. Let's schedule a virtual consultation so we get some face-to-face time and figure out a game plan for like, what is your timeline? Are you coming from out of state? We have to come up with a game plan. That way we can take advantage of these incentives and maybe even get a smoking good deal, because I'll tell you one thing: to get the absolute best deal when it comes to new construction, you want to look at communities that have a lot of inventory built, that are done. So move in tomorrow, done, right? And if they've been sitting for a while, and they have been, when I look at the MLS, I see some new construction homes sitting for 100+ days. It's crazy. And the price drops are getting even crazier, right? Because again, we're heading into a buyer's market. I'm saying we're in a buyer's market now, but that's always up for debate. And that's how we get the best deals, because the longer this inventory sits on the builders, kind of like figuratively, figuratively, they're on their balance sheet, then the more they're itching to get rid of it, right? Because they have their own deadlines to meet too, right? So that's a little tip there. Okay, so we just looked at Taylor, Texas. Now we're gonna go down south to Elgin, Texas, right? Elgin is popping off. Right, there's so much new construction happening here on the residential side. They're still trying to play catch up, because a lot of times the way it kind of works with new construction, there has to be so much residential already built and enough people already moved into these communities for these communities, for the city themselves to even reach out to like Costco or reach out to Walmart, be like, hey, can you consider building here? And I know when I've talked to people from on the city council and people within these master plan communities, asking like, what are the conveniences around the area as far as like groceries, restaurants, and entertainment. For these emerging markets, you're not going to have like a Costco nearby or a Walmart nearby. That's not to say that they're not going to be in surrounding areas. It's just not going to be like super easy access. Like if you were moving to an established city like Round Rock or Cedar Park, where there is a Costco and a Target and a Walmart super close by. But that is the cost you pay for getting in at the ground floor in these emerging markets. Okay. So how are we doing on time? 12 minutes. Okay. Elgin, Texas is the next place, and we're looking at two communities they have here: Harvest Ridge and Trinity Ranch. Builder-wise, we're looking at Braun Homes and Century Communities, and they're starting in the mid 200s. So let's take a closer look at some of their inventory they have available. We should see a long laundry list like Jarrell. Okay, here we go. They have 23. The count is 23. It looks like completion date, they have some ready to move in now, and some probably, like it's kind of following. You see the pattern here? They have some available now, and they have the rest of it more like during the summertime. And that's like just throughout different parts of the summer. Some in the beginning, some towards the end of summer, right? And again, 3-2s all day, right? That's 3-2 is like the most popular floor plan, or I guess bed to bath ratio for home buyers. So that's what builders build, right? And then we're looking at price range from anywhere from the mid 200s. I'm looking at 268 here, all the way up to 379,000. So not too shabby. And keep in mind, with these price points, we're not even considering all these incentives that these builders are offering. Now, I know the last time I went to go visit Harvest Ridge with Braun Homes was offering 8%. 8% of whatever the sales price of the home is back to you, the buyer, to help buy down the interest rate, to help pay for closing costs, maybe even to help pay for some upgrades at the design center, right? They call it flexible cash, so you could use it to help with whatever you want. Typically, most buyers throw all that money to the interest rate and probably whatever is left over to the closing costs. So they they almost have to come zero out of pocket, right? But that's such a great incentive. I do not expect that to last long, right? And it'll probably more than likely, I would bet money that it'll completely go away, or it'll be reduced down to 3% or less come summertime, right? Because again, these are limited funds, so once the money runs out, it runs out. Okay. Elgin, Texas. Now we're gonna go south. We're gonna come here to South Austin, right? And I haven't been out to South Austin as much as I should, right? Because I live I live and I kind of North Austin is really my area because this is where I live, right? But if I get enough people, if you're watching this and you're considering South Austin, that's the area you want to move into, and you want me to go tour some of these master plan communities so you don't have to and save yourself some time, I am more than happy to go to Kyle. I am more than happy to go to San Marcos and check out these new builds and fly my drone out and get some good content for you guys because I really want to bring you guys valuable content with my YouTube channel. Okay, so let's look at Kyle, Texas. Kyle, Texas, we have, look at several communities. We have Caseta Ranch, Porter Country, Plum Creek, South Grove, Talavera, Sage Hollow, and some. Okay, I put some here because there's a lot more than just what I listed off. I just got tired of typing. Builder-wise, we're looking at Braun Homes, Milestone Community Builders, Homes by Avi, D.R. Horton, Meritage Homes, and Pulte Homes. And these are all these homes are starting in the high 200s. So let's go to Kyle here in the spreadsheet. Clear it. Kyle. Okay, so we have quite a list here as well. Ooh, quite the list here. Look at this. 121. All right, Kyle's the winner so far. They're in first place for how much inventory they have popping off. Look at that. Okay, again, we have it from the high 200s all the way up to, I'm sure, like the 400s here on this list. No, not even to the 400s. They have it just below 400. And I bet you they just did a price drop because the 3,999, if I see that number, it's usually because there was a price drop. Because they want to be just underneath the $400,000 mark because that's how people, when you first search for something, that's how the algorithm works. And again, you get your 3 2s, and then you got your 1 or 2 stories here, right? 1 or 2 stories. And again, square footage is going to be probably 1,200 square feet plus, right? And we can see here the completion date. The completion date, they have a bunch ready now, some for the summer. And I saw September there too. So they have, and they have some for the fall, right? So they are building like crazy out in Kyle, Texas. So you're going to have, if you're the type of buyer and you really want options, you really want to see several builders, you want to see several different floor plans, then this Kyle, Texas would probably be your best bet because there's several communities, several different builders here. So you're going to have plenty of choices to choose from. Plenty of choices. That was more than I was expecting to be completely honest. Okay, now let's go to San Marcos, Texas. And community-wise, we're looking at Blanco Vista. We have Trace, La Cima, the cottages, and those are the names of the communities, right? And then the builders, we have Pacesetter Homes, Braun Homes, and Ashton Woods. And these homes are starting in the high 200s. So let's take a look at San Marcos. I want to say San Marcos, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced San Marcos. Let me know in the comments if you know, because these names are always fun to pronounce, and people always kind of get upset if you pronounce it by one syllable wrong. Okay. 17 is the count for San Marcos. And let's see. Oh, they actually have 2 2s, a 2-bed, 2-bath count. And a 3, but they still have your 3 2s, right? Your 3 2s, and they have a 4 2.5. Okay, so Pacesetter has that, and again, price range wise, high 200s all the way up to rounding up to 400,000, right? And they have a good chunk ready now, a good chunk. It almost looks like everything's going to be available now, right? And so San Marcos is a good area too, and these are not far off, so we can easily do Kyle and San Marcos in one day, right? Probably 2 is enough for one day if we really, really want to take a look at not just the floor plans, but the amenities and just drive around a little bit. Because more than 2 communities in one day, you'd be burned out. And you probably wouldn't remember half the stuff we looked at anyway. So I always kind of like to limit, especially if proximity-wise, right? 2 per day, right? Because if not, we're going to get burned out. So if you're relocating to Austin and you just have a weekend to come check these things out, I would love to put an itinerary together for you, so we can maximize your time here. I know time is always of the essence when it comes to my buyers who are relocating here. But if you're relocating and you're in the city of Austin, you're just maybe going from the south to north or vice versa, then I would also like to put a nice itinerary for you, and that way, it's organized. I'm a very organized person. I like to I'm very like time is something I value a lot, and I all my clients I treat with the kind of same respect. Like I'm very precious with your time because I don't want to waste it, and I want to always make sure I'm maximizing the time so we're getting the most that we can see and most value from our time together, be it in person or virtually. Okay, so that's it. That's it. Those are my five cities that are near Austin. That's affordable. That's we're looking in the price range of 350,000 and below. So what's your next step here? If you are interested in touring any of these master plan communities, I will have all my information linked in the description so you can reach out to me. And please consider giving this a like and maybe comment below of where you want me to go next. Or maybe I may have missed something. I love to start just a Discord in the comments so we can come together and we all can provide each other value. Okay, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm a realtor here in the Austin area with eXp Realty. I would love to join you on your journey and make the dreams of home ownership come true. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.